Hello, everybody. Good evening or good morning, whatever you want to call it. I want to talk to you all about my opinion so far of the 2018 Major League Baseball season. I'm going to quickly review the standings and quickly talk about some of the results from tonight because I don't know when I'm going to be able to review baseball after the All-Star break. I'm hoping I can do a playoff preview later on in the fall, but so far I'm just going to review baseball because NTA Prodigy did a video back on Thursday and I figured I wanted to give a shot at this. So without further ado, here's how I've organized this. I'm going to start off with the American League, then I'm going to go to the National League because the National League has given us a lot of surprises this season. And of course, I'll correlate it with tonight's baseball scores. It's 11-17 right now here in Maryland, so I figured, hey, I give it a shot, see how it goes. So first up, let's talk about my Yankees. How are they doing? Well, overall the record's fine. It's just that they lost 2 in a row against the Tampa Bay Rays. Take a look at the Red Sox. Tonight they lost to the Mariners, so we'll take a look at the score over here. They did lose tonight. Last I was checking on the road. Trying to find it. Here we go. Seattle did beat them 7-2 tonight. So as you can see right here, Boston's still a game behind the New York Yankees. So the win percentage right here is 676 and then 654. So that gives the Yankees an advantage because they have a couple makeup games to address with the Orioles. We'll get into the Orioles in just a sec. So tonight's win puts Tampa. Well, they played at 4 o'clock today, but I'll call it tonight because the game did end at 7 o'clock. So tonight's game helped Tampa get 4 games under 500. They were 35-40 going into the game. The Blue Jays are 34-41. So if you put that number in perspective, that's about 6 or 7 games under 500. I can't give an accurate number, but let's talk about the Orioles. Honestly, the worst team in all of baseball, but today they were actually able to win, surprisingly. I don't even know how that's possible, but we'll take a look and see who the surprisingly the Orioles defeated a really good Atlanta Braves baseball team today. A score of 7-5. So 23-52. That's 29 games under 500. Still a very bad record for the Orioles. I thought they were going to be above 500 and not even make the playoffs. I thought Machado, Jones, they were going to lead the team. But apparently, Orioles are just really dug themselves deep into a black hole. And this is typically what the American League East would look like normally on a good year. You would expect the Yankees and the Red Sox to go neck and neck for the division, and most of the country would root against the Yankees because, quite frankly, America just doesn't like the Yankees. But yet I love the Yankees because, again, I'm from a Yankees family. My dad's from the Bronx, so that's the real reason why I honestly root for the Yankees. And plus the fact that I grew up watching Derek Jeter. So this is the American League East as of 11:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Maryland. So go to the Central. Indians. They won again tonight. As expected, they would be a good team. They didn't really go off to a good start out of the gate, but they have certainly come back and found their usual image, and Terry Francona finally found that winning formula that the Indians were always known for, and they are, of course, 9 games above 500. They won again tonight. Find out who they defeated tonight. We'll pull up the score in just a second. Tonight, that's the wrong score. Yeah, here we go. The Indians won tonight 4-1 in the Detroit Tigers. So while we're on the subject of the Central, the Tigers are right here, second place, under 500. I thought the Indians would have won 50 games by now, but that's what happens when your team gets off to a bad start. but they finally found their formula. And Edwin Encarnacion, former Toronto Blue Jay, is finally waking up at the right time. So that's very good news for Indians fans. Kluber's pitching very well. Kluber's woken up. Corey Kluber, former American League Cy Young Award winner. Let's go to the Twins. The Twins have shocked me. I didn't expect them to be under 500, but that's just a big, big surprise. They are 33-40, so that number is, of course, 7 games under 500, considering the Twins did make it to the wild card game and were beaten by my Yankees last year in that American League wild card game. We have the White Sox, who stink. We'll just take a look at the numbers right here. So, Baltimore has a 307 percentage. You look at White Sox 329. So pretty much if you look at it right here, 307. Worst record overall is the Kansas City Royals at 23-53. So that would basically, in the American League rankings, you would put the Royals as the worst team right now. And then you put Baltimore as the second worst team in baseball. And keeping in mind, the Royals won the World Series 3 years ago, beating the New York Mets in 5 games. They went to the 2014 World Series, a surprise team that wasn't even supposed to be a winning team. So that concludes the Central before I make a late night rant. So let's go to the West. Houston, as expected, they pulled out another win tonight. The Mariners won tonight, so that's why the Red Sox are a full game back of the New York Yankees. You have the Angels. They still have a winning record, but if you look at the wild card quickly, take a look at the wild card for the American League right now. 2 teams would be, of course, Boston. They have a 3.5 game lead for the first wild card, followed by the Mariners. If you look at it prospectively, pretty much Anaheim cannot catch up, in my opinion. I just think that the Mariners keep playing the way they had, and I've seen the Mariners get streaky. They can definitely be a playoff team. And to be honest, even though I'm a Yankee fan, they haven't made the playoffs since 2001. 2001, and they were the best team in the league back then. So I'm really hoping that the Mariners do make the playoffs, because it'll be a long time coming. When you add up the, it's like 17 years almost. 17, 18 years. So there's the Angels right there. Oakland we don't need to get into, and of course the Rangers, I don't want to talk about them. So the Mariners are pretty much the surprise team. Nobody expected them to be good. I was expecting, again, the Twins to be that second wild card team, but apparently not. And we'll have to see how that ends up. They are 8 games back, so maybe they get lucky. I don't know. But if the Twins have been awful. They haven't been trash like the Orioles, but they've been pretty awful. I will admit that. Let's end the video with the National League. The Braves, they've been a very surprising team. There's one guy on that team, that whole team, he's a veteran, has impressed me, and should definitely be the top NL All-Star this season. Has to be Freddie Freeman. Has to be him. Now, for the Yankees, I'm going to admit this, and again, it's just my biased opinion, Gleyber Torres should be on the American League All-Star team. Pretty much, he's going to be Rookie of the Year. I'll quickly mention that. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. So, I have my 2 All-Stars right now. American League's Gleyber Torres, and then going back to the National League, you have the Atlanta Braves. Phillies tonight, I was actually keeping an eye on this one because I was listening to the game on the radio. Their sports station, I think it's 97.5 The Ticket. I was listening to that game tonight on the radio, and the Phillies actually beat the Nationals tonight. Philadelphia is actually a pretty decent team this year, from what I've been able to make out from seeing a couple of their highlights this season. Nats fans, I don't think you should be worried. Even if you lose tomorrow, I still think you have a decent shot of catching the Phillies, considering that Bryce Harper is waking up. And I only say that because he's trying to get on the Yankees. That's what I keep hearing, but Bryce Harper is waking up. The Nats are trying to find their image, but they just can't find it right now. That's the issue. Now I'm going to get into the New York Mets, a very controversial issue because the Mets were off to a great start, and then something happened in May. The injuries kept piling up. The Mets traded away Matt Harvey to the Cincinnati Reds. You have Cespedes, who can't even stay healthy, and when it's Cespedes, their supposed slugger. David Wright's trying to come back, but honestly, the Mets are a train wreck. They're 12 games under 500. They lost to the Dodgers again tonight. So the Mets are just obviously in a very, very deep hole that they can't seem to get themselves out of. We don't need to get into the Marlins. Central, another shocking team, the Milwaukee Brewers. Nobody expected them to be a good team, 45-31. Cubs fans, I don't think you should be worried, in my opinion. The Cubs did win tonight, I'm pretty sure. Let's just double check the scores. So before my phone crashed, I was trying to pull up the Cubs score, and the Cubs actually lost tonight. So they're still 2 games back. Thankfully, this is working again. So as you can see here, Milwaukee's still up by 2 games. The Cardinals, they're trying to come back. Historically, I've always known as a kid the Cardinals would always win, but we'll just quickly check a look at the Cardinals score, see if they won their game tonight. So we'll just quickly take a look at the scores right here. I'll quickly mention that Houston actually won their game today in extra innings. That was a walk-off. I don't want to, load it because then they'll play me a video and I don't want to get claimed for copyright. So we'll just double-check the score of the Cardinals if we can find it. If I can't find it, I apologize, everyone. Yes, so the Cardinals did beat the Milwaukee Brewers today, 3-2. So that pretty much has helped the Cardinals gain 1 game on the Milwaukee Brewers. They are still in contention for the wild card, and I'll get into the wild card as I end this video. But Pittsburgh, they don't really have that many assets. McCutchen, we know where he ended up. We don't need to get into that. Very quickly about the Mets, I forgot to mention this. Jose Bautista was on the Atlanta Braves. Braves released him. The Mets signed him for a 1-year deal. And the Mets thought that by signing him it would help. But no, it didn't help. It didn't help. The Mets are still in a dark, deep hole. This is the team Matt Harvey was traded to, everyone. The Cincinnati Reds. Oh, boy. 31-45. So I just double-check a look. I think Miami's the worst team right now in the National League. We'll just double-check that. So, yeah, the Marlins are the worst team in the National League. The Diamondbacks. I'm not surprised about this. They were a playoff team last season. Goldschmidt, he's still hitting very well. And the Diamondbacks still have their image, but here's the thing. Dodger fans, and this is the same thing about Cubs fans as well. I don't think you should be worried. You're going to be in the playoffs no matter what. The Dodgers are finally getting their groove back. Kershaw actually pitched very well. I got to admit, he pitched a good game tonight against the Mets. But honestly, my dream matchup of Dodgers-Yankees better still happen. I mean, if it doesn't, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Because I predicted with my friends and a couple co-workers at work that, it was going to be the Yankees playing the Dodgers. I hope that comes true. Third, you got the Giants. They're 500. They may try to make some noise in the second half. They may try to make a 2010 run like they did to go to the World Series. It's possible, knowing how Bruce Bochy always leads the team. Rockies, I don't really know what to say about them. They were off to a decent start, and then they're now collapsing. And we don't need to get into the Padres. So, to quickly wrap this up, talk to you all about the National League wildcard right now. So, here is the National League wildcard as soon as we pull it up right here. So, Milwaukee has the first wildcard, followed by the Braves. And then they're tied with the Diamondbacks, which is... Oh, that's the divisional leaders. Yeah, see, that's the problem. So, you have Cubs right here. They have the first wild card by a whole game, so they would host the wild card game. They would be playing the Philadelphia Phillies because guess what? If it was the last day of the season, it was game 162, the Nationals would have not made the playoffs today because they lost to the Philadelphia Phillies. So your matchup would be Cubs playing the Phillies in the wild card game, which would be an interesting matchup. And as I said earlier, American League would be Red Sox hosting against the Seattle Mariners. The Yankees would have the American League East. But again, the Yankees better find their image because they should not be losing 2 games in a row to the Tampa Bay Rays. So I'll quickly just preview the pitching matchups. You have Herman, minor leaguer, taking on Snell. See, I'm worried about tomorrow. I mean, the Yankees could get swept tomorrow before they have to play the Phillies. Jason Vargas, a controversial issue. I think Rich Elliott's going to help the Dodgers win tomorrow. Vargas is just terrible. I don't even know why he's on the Mets. Now, this game is interesting. I think you all should keep an eye on it. You have Gonzalez. He's a pretty good pitcher, taking on Chris Sale for the Red Sox, so that's something you should keep an eye on. I'm only previewing this because, again, I'm just making a video just because I've been traveling so long and I want to at least put content on this channel, and that's my goal for you guys. I want to try to be as active as possible on here. So I'm trying to look for the Sunday night game. Just a curiosity. Who is playing on ESPN? So, yes, this is a good game I think you need to keep an eye on tomorrow. ESPN, Philadelphia Phillies playing Washington Nationals. That's a game I think you all should consider watching. I know I'm definitely going to try to watch tomorrow. I know I'm going to be out, but if anything, I can just keep an eye on it with this app, the Score app. Really friendly for Androids. I know it's from Canada, but trust me, I recommend this app. So that's it. That's my review for the baseball season so far. I'm still hoping the Dodgers come back. The Yankees better find their groove because guess what? After Philadelphia, they got to play the Red Sox. So they're going to Philly, and then they're playing the Red Sox. So that's it. Until next time, take care.